Okay, so I made a video a few days ago about how a whole entire town of police officers quit. And the state was Minnesota, and the town was Goodhue. So the population was like 1,500. It's not a lot of people, but still, like the fact that the whole entire police force quit and you have to have other police officers, like the county police officers, pretty much like take control and do extra footwork. um Speaks volumes. I know this is old news, um but I just discovered this. uh so when George Floyd was unalive, he there were a few officers involved, and one officer who was there doing crowd control had nothing to do with Floyd, had nothing to do with the situation other than crowd control. He got 5 years for doing nothing. I also discovered a state next to me, Colorado, Springfield, Colorado. They also did the same thing. The whole entire police force quit. You see the chain reaction going on. It's it's not looking it's not looking bright for the future. You know. So first it was Goodhue, then it was Springfield, Colorado. Um, I think I predict that, and I'm pretty good at predicting things. I am. I'm I'm almost never wrong. Not to sound conceited or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, I'm almost never wrong. And with this chain reaction, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be dang, where all the police go, and it's like, well, didn't you want this? I mean, you voted, you know, these politicians in, like Lori Lightfoot, for example. She was, I want to say, she was tyrant minded. So she likes to be the boss, and she doesn't respect the people that work for her. And every time when a police officer arrests someone rightfully, she makes laws where the criminals could pretty much get away the next day. And you know how you don't like someone, like there's a teacher you don't like, or there's a boss you don't like, and or 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 a president you don't like, and you wish you had a different president, a different boss, or a different teacher, and it turns out that teacher is even worse. I forgot his name, but he's much worse than Lori Lightfoot. And there's I think 62 or 63% of the Chicago PD force, they resigned. Some retired, and human resources, like, we're low on numbers. can you hold off on your retirement? No. Like, maybe in a perfect world where there wasn't all these anti-police things, then sure. But at this point, like, is it worth it? You know. So out of that 62, 63% of police officers that resign in Chicago, you have, I don't really do math well, but you have math available police officers that's going to take up the extra footwork. And then when you have an anti-police mayor in a anti-police town, city, you know, the others are going to see what's available for them, and they're just going to quit. Everything that I do ties into what I want to do for my next move. For example, private contracting. Let's use Blackwater for example. Blackwater, they take on people that are ex-military, mainly army and navy, and sometimes they'll take police officers too. But they'll take police officers that have SWAT training. Not only do they have to have SWAT training, they should at least have 2 to 3 years of SWAT training under their belt. So you can't just, join a police academy, join SWAT the first year, then quit and then join Blackwater and say no. Like, they want to see some experience. Just like how if you were in the army, they want at least 4 years. If you were in the Marines, they want at least 3 to 4 years too. So again, for the third time, being a police officer is what I wanted to do for the longest time. But hold that thought. So being a police officer is what I wanted to do for the longest time. And I also want to do SWAT. Now, the average police officer, average, not all of them, but average, with today's market and economy and all that stuff, they make about $65,000 to $75,000 a whole entire year. If you do private contracting and you were former military and X, Y, and Z, you could accept a contract and you could be making $60,000 to $70,000 for that one contract. And that one contract could be a month, it could be 3 months. So I could work as a police officer making the same amount of money that a private contractor will do in a year, where they make in 3 months. See what I'm saying? So police officers that are quitting in numbers. And just like the military, exactly like the military actually, private contracting companies, they also need bodies too. So they're going to see all these police officers quitting because their own citizens don't want them around, and then they're going to take on these ex-police officers that are into SWAT. Like, they can't take every police officer, but the ones that are SWAT trained, they're going to take them on, and they're going to give them the same amount of money that they made within that year for that 1 month. Think about that. I also heard a story where I want I want to say it was a cop from California. I don't know if it was San Diego or San Francisco or San something. He was off duty and he saw trouble. Ideally, you would think that a cop would, whether you're with your family, not with your family, you know, in your uniform, out of your uniform, you would think that they would step in and say, "Hey, this is who I am. I'm here to help." That police officer refused to help because he was afraid for his job. Because a lot of police officers are, like I said, they're quitting, they're retiring, they're getting in trouble for just existing. And he didn't want, like I said, he didn't want to lose his job because, there was a lot of backlash for police officers at the time. And ask yourself this: do you blame him for feeling the way he's feeling? Because I don't, you know, um, he's probably burnt out. Again, he didn't want to lose his job. He didn't want to get in trouble. And he's probably has X amount of years left for retirement. Again, a cop got in trouble. A cop got arrested and been sentenced to 5 years in prison just for doing crowd control during the George Floyd. It's all adding up. It's leading up to a point. So, um, I mean, I'm still gonna try doing what I'm gonna do. You know, I'm 33. I'll be 34 in March. You know, um, if I don't become a cop by the time when I'm 35, what I will do, which I originally wanted to do before I joined the Navy, I actually wanted to join the French Foreign Legion, and that's a 5-year contract. The cutoff age for the French Foreign Legion is 40 years old. So, but I'm not going to wait till the last minute to become a legionnaire. That's what they call the French Foreign Legion. They call them legionnaires. So I'm not going to wait till the last minute to become a legionnaire. I'm going to do what I got to do, because the way things that are going on here in America, it doesn't seem bright. You never heard of a whole entire police department leaving a town defenseless because rightfully they fear for their own lives. You don't hear that. So, um, I love my country and everything like that, but I will leave if I have to. I don't want to, but I will. You know, um, there's a former Marine who made, like, I think it's in the Philippines or Thailand, and he made a bar where you have to get there by boat, and a lot of people have boats in that area. So in that bar, what I'm trying to say is, like he loves his country, he misses his country, but he saw everything transpiring way before I was even born, or maybe when I was like 2 to 3 years old, he saw what was going on and he was like, you know what, I'm cashing out. So all these things that I'm predicting, he's probably predicted way before, I was able to say mommy or daddy. See what I'm saying? So I will join the police department, and if that doesn't work, I will just join the French Foreign Legion and then do private contracting from there. And the euro is still stronger than US dollar. So if I join the French Foreign Legion, I'll still be making money. And then if I do private contracting, me speaking English and French, because uh, uh, while you're in the French Foreign Legion, they make you speak French. Like you're gonna be speaking fluent French by the seventh month that you're in, you know, and you're gonna be good at it. So I will be bilingual essentially. I do know a little bit of Japanese too. Um, so I'll be trilingual actually, and I'm gonna make bank. Digressing, disregard me, but I highly urge that you all be prepared on what's about to happen, you know, because it's going down. Continue watching anime, continue watching porn, trying to be an Instagram model, continue doing what you're doing, you know, but don't say I didn't warn you, because I'm prepared. Are you?